So I've been redoing my entire office, and I've been trying to figure out where's the best spot to put this. And actually, I figured out how to put the back in too. So yeah, I didn't have the back that whole time. What's going on with you? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope you're having your best day today, as I am having a really good day today. And just in case if you aren't having your best day, sometimes I like to move stuff around in my office, clean things up, even redo things like, put these in correctly, and it really does help out. I know it seems a little silly, but I promise you, if you do the small things to make your surrounding look the best, then you might feel a lot better. Speaking of better, moving stuff around my office actually prompted me to think of a new video idea. We talk about the best decks from time to time, but what exactly are the best Yu-Gi-Oh cards? That's right, so I'm going to be telling you what are the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, as well as why, and of course, I'm going to be giving you ways to counter them. Just like our lives, Yu-Gi-Oh is ever evolving, things are forever shifting, and sometimes we need to center ourselves in order to progress forward. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the first spot to put this Dark Arm Dragon, Judgment Dragon mat, and let's start talking about these cards. Sometimes things are best off where you originally put them. Now, before I deep dive into the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And how you can counter them, I want to say that I want to be as generic as possible. Mainly because I want you to be able to counter the most dangerous threats, but the most dangerous probable threats. Of course, if you feel that there are some cards or interactions that I missed, then go ahead and let me know. I'll be sure to let you know next time how to beat them. The first card I actually want to talk about is actually a set of cards from one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! I thought I would cover this even though it isn't as generic, mainly because since it's the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can expect to see it a lot. Brigade is one of the most strongest decks in Yu-Gi-Oh, as I said before, and it has a really powerful card that probably should be stopped if you want to win the game. Brigade Revolt allows you to special summon BBWs, that's Beast, Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast for the people that should not use Google on this. I literally told you guys not to use Google last time, and somebody said, I'll use Google anyways, and I'm wondering how that worked out for them. Do not Google BBW, even if you type in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's not what we're talking about here. After those BBWs are special summoned from your graveyard or your banished pile, Brigade Revolt also allows you to link summon immediately with said cards. Now, the reason why Revolt is just so powerful in this Yu-Gi-Oh card game is actually for a few reasons. Not only is it a soul charge and a pseudo formula synchron on a turn, it also allows you to reset a few things. It allows you to trigger the effects of cards like Brigade Kit and Nerval, allowing them to add more fuel into their graveyard, and or search a Brigade monster from their deck to their hand, and it can reset their banished pile, allowing them to activate more Brigade monsters on their side of the field. Now, we can obviously see why that is just so problematic, and for you Yu-Gi boomers, I know you're having flashbacks of Soul Charge right now. Flashbacks of Soul Charge. Fortunately for us, unlike Soul Charge, there are a few ways to stop this card that exist in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards like Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion completely stop this card in its tracks, and the best thing is that it's a hand trap, so it's just a little bit harder to counter. Not only will Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion negate the activation of Brigade Revolt, seeing that this is one of their most important and pivotal points for them to stay in the game, it can outright win you the game. Another way to stop Brigade Revolt is rather unconventional, but trust me, is good. I learned it from my budget series, which has been very, very fun to do, but Night Beam is actually a really good answer to Brigade Revolt. Seeing that Brigade Revolt can be sprung at any given time, you can't activate a conventional card like Twin Twisters or Harpy's Feather Duster on the particular card, but Night Beam prevents the card from being activated. As long as they don't activate a separate card and then use Brigade Revolt as Chainlink 3, then you're in the clear. And I think I just gave you a way to get around cards that say, oh, this card can't be activated, because there you have it. A card that is having players stomped right now, and it's actually the reason why this video was made, is Crossout Designator. Now, Crossout Designator is a really powerful Yu-Gi-Oh card, allowing you to declare one card name and then banish a card from your main deck to negate the activated card's effect for the duration of the turn. This card seems like the ultimate answer for hand traps until it isn't. There are some players that want to play Engraver of the Mark to be able to stop Crossout Designator, as seeing that Crossout Designator does declare a card name, Engraver can stop it. What do we tell him? What do we tell him? What do we tell him? Using a hand trap that is pretty much specifically going to be designed to stop a card that stops hand traps, what are you doing? Like, oh no, what are you doing, baby? That type, what are you doing? Now, there is a clear-cut counter to Crossout Designator, and it's Crossout Designator. This card can actually stop itself as long as you banish another copy of Crossout Designator from your deck. Now, there is another way to play around Crossout Designator, and it's going to require a group effort, which means you're gonna have to do your part, I'm gonna have to do your part, everybody's going to have to do their part. A, don't play hand traps. That almost seems like the dumbest idea ever, but we've actually had formats where hand traps were just not good. B, don't play mirror matches. Now that seems even worse, but I mean, hear me out, it can work. There are so many competitive decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! How many times do you think you're gonna play a mirror match if you play something obscure? C, this is probably the best way to do it. Diversify your hand traps. Crossout Designator really shines against high impact hand traps like Droll and Lockbird in Nibiru. So for those combo strategies that will lose to that, I expect them to actually do that, and that's where it's gonna be best at. But if we play like one of every hand trap, because almost all of them are pretty good, your opponent's gonna have a hard time at stopping it. Now hear me out, this may be big brain, this may be small brain. You play one Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. You play one Effect Veiler. You play one Ash Blossom, one Imperm, one Ghost Ogre. Don't play Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. But seriously, if you diversify your hand trap lineup, you might actually be able to play around Crossout Designator long enough for people to realize that it may not be working against you. Or everybody's just playing one of every hand trap, and now we can all play Yu-Gi-Oh! A card that has skyrocketed in price since it was confirmed not to be in the 2021 Megatins is Access Code Talker. Now, Access Code Talker is almost justified for its price tag, but if you are thinking about buying an Access Code Talker, I'm going to tell you, it's not a bad idea. I just wouldn't, because it's almost guaranteed to have a reprint. What Access Code Talker does is when this card is link summoned, you can target a monster that was used for its link summon, or a link monster, and it gains attack equal to its link rating times 1000. Also, you can banish a link monster in the graveyard to target one card on your opponent's side of the field and destroy it. Now, fortunately, you cannot banish monsters of the same attribute from your graveyard, but it's not once per turn. I haven't even gotten to the greedy part about Access Code Talker, it's busted. What makes this card completely bonkers is that your opponent cannot activate cards in response to Access Code Talker's effect activations. When it's summoned, it activates, and then when it banishes a card, it activates. This card has immunity to like 90% of Yu-Gi-Oh cards out right now. Fortunately enough, there are quite a few workarounds with Access Code Talker, and Big Brain Callie is going to explain it to you. And it comes a little bit with knowing the rules. So the most important thing I want to clear with you is Access Code Talker Summon. You can actually negate the summon with cards like Solemn Judgment and Solemn Strike, though you can't use cards like Bottomless Trap Hole and Torrential Tribute. Why? Because Solemn Judgment and Solemn Strike are preventing the card from being summoned, where cards like Bottomless Trap Hole and Torrential Tribute are trying to activate at the same time the Access Code Talker is activating its effect, and as you know, you can't respond to its activations. The next way to counter Access Code Talker is extremely cheeky. While we can't activate cards in response to Access Code Talker's activation, we can actually activate cards in response to its resolution. So at the resolution of Access Code Talker's effect to gain attack, we can use cards like Infinite Impermanence to be able to negate Access Code Talker, preventing your opponent from being able to banish cards from the graveyard and destroy cards on your side of the field. You can also use another amazing trap card in Paleozoic Dynamiscus, which will be able to banish Access Code Talker on resolve after it gains attack. Well, that's pretty much all that we have for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know what you really enjoyed about this video or what could be improved. But more importantly, if you want to see more of these, you gotta let me know in some type of way. You can like it, you can share it with a friend, you can watch it twice, Do what you gotta do, big dog. If you want to see more of these, play your part. As always, if you want to see more content, then go ahead and check out these videos, as I'll catch you on the next one.